The world watched in shock as Queen Camilla, poised, polished, untouchable, crumbled in full view of the court. Facing James Hewitt, the man once entangled with Princess Diana, she found herself trapped in a storm of old letters, raw accusations, and haunting truths. "I never meant to hurt her," Camilla sobbed, but it was too late. The past had risen, and it demanded answers. With every tear, every gasp, a royal myth was torn apart. This wasn't just courtroom drama. It was the emotional unraveling of a monarchy built on silence. And now, the truth can't be unspoken. Courtroom tension. The courtroom is packed, but no one dares to speak. You could hear a pin drop. The moment James Hewitt steps in, something shifts. He's not just walking in, he's walking in with purpose. In his hand, a thick file that looks like it carries secrets no one's ready to hear. Across from him, Queen Camilla sits still. But her face gives her away. She's pale, nervous, and clutching her fingers so tightly they've turned white. Her eyes flicker to Hewitt, but quickly look down. Cameras zoom in. Everyone sees it. This is fear. Real, raw fear. The judge raises his hand, voice steady but sharp. "Only facts. No theatrics." But that warning barely touches the storm brewing in the room. The tension is alive. Every breath is heavy. This isn't just a legal battle. It's the unraveling of royal history in real time. As Hewitt takes his seat and opens the file, the courtroom holds its breath. Camilla's hand reaches for a glass of water, but she doesn't drink. Her eyes never meet his. What was meant to be a simple testimony is now something else entirely. This isn't just about truth. This is about legacy. And everyone knows something explosive is about to drop. Hewitt's opening statement. James Hewitt stands, clears his throat, and begins, not with hesitation, but with calm control. His voice carries clearly. "I'm here to reveal the truth. Diana couldn't." It's like the courtroom leans forward all at once. That one sentence flips the energy. This isn't about old rumors anymore. This is new ground. He pauses, letting the weight of those words settle. Then, slowly, he lifts his eyes and looks straight at Camilla. He's not supposed to. It's against courtroom decorum. But he does it anyway. His message is clear. "I see you, and I know." He starts with the affair, his well-known relationship with Princess Diana. That part the public has heard before, but it's what comes next that changes everything. He speaks not as a bitter ex, but as a man carrying something deeper. His tone is level, almost too calm. He says Diana didn't just feel betrayed. She felt replaced emotionally by someone who had always been in the background. It's no longer about whispers. It's about rewriting the story the world thought it knew. The moment lands hard, because for the first time in decades, someone inside the royal shadow is pulling back the curtain, and it's only just begun. Recounting the affair, Hewitt shifts slightly, now leaning on the stand. The courtroom stays silent, hanging on every word. What he says next doesn't just revisit the past, it brings it roaring back. He describes long talks with Diana during the early 90s, how she would open up during quiet evenings when the world wasn't watching. He recalls her voice, filled with doubt, fear, pain. "She told me she's not here for me. She's here for Charles's crown." Those words hit like a slap in the courtroom. Camilla's expression barely changes, but for the keen observer, it's there. A slight wince, a flicker in the eyes. She felt that. Hewitt continues, explaining how Diana often felt surrounded, but never supported. She saw Camilla everywhere, at parties, in conversations, even in Charles's silences. He reveals Diana's words. "Every time he pulls away from me, I see her." It wasn't just an affair that hurt her. It was the feeling of being erased, forgotten. And now, in a courtroom years later, that ghost comes back. Clear, haunting, and deeply human. Hewitt's voice softens as he shares these memories, and for a moment, even the harshness of court fades. All that remains is the image of a woman, a princess, who felt more alone than anyone ever knew. Link to Camilla. Now the tone shifts again, subtle but sharper. Hewitt moves closer to the heart of it all, Camilla's role. He says Diana had always suspected Camilla wasn't just a private threat, but a public influence. He recalls conversations where Diana worried that Camilla had deep access to Charles's thoughts, enough to steer decisions behind palace walls. Then comes the turning point. Hewitt pulls out a folded letter, old, fragile, but protected. His voice drops as he reads, "I feel her shadow in every room I enter. Even when she's not there, I know she's closer to him than I'll ever be." He says the letter was written by Diana to a close friend during a time when the press didn't yet know everything. It places Camilla not on the sidelines, but right in the center. Diana didn't just feel betrayed by Charles, she felt boxed out, emotionally replaced by a woman who hadn't even stepped fully into public view. Camilla sits frozen. Her eyes glisten now. She blinks hard, but a tear escapes anyway. For the first time, she isn't the composed queen consort. She's a woman, being accused of haunting another woman's heartbreak. And that moment changes everything. Camilla's first break. The silence after Hewitt's reading is deafening. All eyes move to Camilla, waiting. She doesn't move at first, but then, slowly, she stands. She looks fragile, like she's carrying too much weight. Her voice shakes as she speaks. "I never sought to harm Diana. I respected her." It's quiet. Too quiet. Then the tears come. One rolls down her cheek, then another. She doesn't try to wipe them away. Instead, she stands in it, broken but not hiding. "I didn't choose this. I loved him, not the crown," she says. Her voice is soft, but it echoes. People believe her, or at least they see her differently now. She sits back down slowly, her breathing shaky. Her hands are folded in her lap, but she no longer hides them. This isn't the queen the public knows. This is Camilla. Stripped bare, the judge calls for a pause. No one moves. Even the cameras seem unsure what to do. Because what just happened wasn't royal. It wasn't polished. It was real. And the story is far from over. Hewitt's evidence. The courtroom sits on edge as James Hewitt leans forward, placing a worn envelope on the stand. His fingers pause before lifting it deliberately. Every eye is locked on what he holds next, because this could redefine history. Inside, he pulls out Diana's handwriting. Personal letters, journal entries, testimonials sent to trusted friends. His voice is steady, but the weight behind the words feels heavy. He reads, "I feel Camilla pulling Charles away from me." That sentence resonates like a bell in the once calm room. It's not gossip now. It's verifiable. Written by Diana herself, in ink she chose. He lists witnesses too. Friends who recall Diana crying, concerned that Camilla's influence was real, not imagined. They heard about covert media whispers, subtle nudges in public statements, glances between Camilla and power players behind palace walls. Nothing's speculative. Everything's grounded in documents and testimony, hard facts that cut deep. Camilla watches, her face flickering between composure and pain. Judging by the tilt of her head, she's trying to hold the moment. But the cracks are visible. Hewitt sets the letters down gently, then looks up. This isn't betrayal. It's truth. The judge leans forward. The gallery leans in. Even cameras seem to zoom closer. Because this isn't just history. It's an unfolding drama. It's affecting everyone in that room, all over again. Camilla's defense. After a tense pause, Camilla stands. It's clear. She's gathering what strength remains. Her voice trembles, but it's meant to carry. "I never interfered," she says quietly. "I loved him, not the power." A simple statement, but heavy with meaning. She explains, heart in her voice, that she tried to remain respectful of Diana, kept her distance, sought no media spotlight. Instead, she says she worried about Diana's mental health, urged Charles to be gentle, to care. Her words feel raw. No royal polish, no artifice, just a woman explaining her heart. She describes quiet efforts to support, not sabotage, to care, not conquer. She closes her eyes, gathers air, and continues, "I never tried to rewrite her story. It's a fragile moment. Camilla versus a stack of letters. Tears begin again, but she holds them back, showing more strength than before. At the end, she finishes with calm clarity. Judge, I have no wish to cause pain. I have lived in shadow, always mindful of what came before." Then she sits, exhausted. The courtroom exhales. For a moment, the fight pauses. Cross-examination, clash. No sooner has the tension eased than Hewitt rises again. He starts asking about specific media leaks, moments when stories trended. He asks directly, "Did you feed them?" Camilla's response is steady but defensive. She blames the press, not herself. She argues that independent journalists chased stories, and she had nothing to do with it. But when questioned about Charles's moods, her confidence wavers. The tone sharpens. Hewitt drills. "You knew Diana was struggling. Did you use that?" Camilla flinches. A pause. A catch in her voice. She insists no, but her posture betrays her. Her hands fidget. Her eyes flick to the gallery. Around them, eyes dart back and forth, feeling. Every spike of tension. This isn't courtroom procedure. It's heart against history. Question by question, claim by claim, until emotions are trampled by confrontation. In one pointed exchange, Hewitt grills Camilla on a specific leaked article from years past. She hesitates, tries to explain, then breaks, voice catching in her throat with sudden, helpless quiet. A ripple moves through the room. The judge interjects, but only out of protocol, because nothing can stop this emotional battle now. Emotional fallout. Camilla's voice falters mid-sentence. She tries to steady herself, but her throat catches. And then it happens. A quiet sob breaks loose, raw and sharp. Tears slide down her cheeks, this time not silently. She chokes out, I need a moment," her voice barely above a whisper. The judge nods solemnly. "Court will adjourn briefly," he says, voice echoing in the stunned silence. As aides rush to her, the Queen doesn't speak. She doesn't raise her head. Her face is turned to the ground, her entire body trembling. She moves like someone carrying a weight too heavy for any crown. Her departure is slow, fragile. Each step is a collapse in slow motion. Hewitt watches her go. He doesn't gloat. His hands are folded. His gaze is steady. His face strangely soft. There's no revenge in his eyes, just a quiet acceptance, maybe even regret. The door closes behind Camilla, and the courtroom bursts into whispers. People shift in their seats, murmuring to each other. Even the press seems stunned into silence, only now beginning to type. And then, outside, flashes explode. Reporters scream questions as Charles is spotted. He had remained quiet, hidden in the gallery. But now, he's seen. His face, strained. His eyes wet, his hand lifts slowly to his chest, pressing gently as if trying to hold something from breaking. That one gesture says it all. Pain, helplessness, love. News alerts flood phones across the nation. Queen Camilla in tears during testimony bombshell. Courtroom breakdown captured live. Royal secrets expose raw emotion. On social media, chaos erupts. Hashtags trend instantly. Camilla breaks. Diana speaks. Through Hewitt, Darnipa, royal fallout. Some users express sympathy. Nobody deserves this. She's still human. Others say it's long overdue. This is justice for Diana. In the courtroom, stillness returns. But everything feels changed. People aren't just watching history. They're watching it unravel minute by minute. A queen has fallen, not in power, but in composure. And the world saw every tear. Expert insights. The courtroom door hasn't even closed behind Camilla before the news anchors begin their rolling coverage. Analysts rush to microphones, prepared for what may be the most pivotal moment in royal drama since Diana's own revelations decades ago. A top psychologist goes live immediately. When someone is repeatedly forced to relive trauma, especially in public, the emotional toll becomes unbearable, she explains. Camilla isn't just defending herself. She's being confronted with years of guilt, perception, and pain. Legal minds follow. One barrister warns, Hewitt's documents, especially if authenticated, change everything. This isn't gossip anymore. It's potential historical record. And then come the royal watchers. Their tone is serious, even shocked. This moment, one royal correspondent says gravely, rips the veil off the polished royal image. This is no longer about duty and tradition. It's about pain, about truth, about who really lived through what. Body language experts freeze the footage. They point to Camilla's shaking hands, the downturn of her mouth, the way she clutched her side like shielding herself. That wasn't performance, one insists. That was a woman breaking down, piece by piece. Commentators debate what comes next. Can the monarchy maintain its current image after such a public unraveling? People want truth now, one expert says. Not just pageantry. This might be the start of emotional accountability inside the palace. One historian even suggests that this day might someday be taught in textbooks. This trial may not just reshape Camilla's legacy, she says. It could alter how the public views the entire Windsor era. The message from every expert is clear. This wasn't just a breakdown, it was a reckoning. A queen cried, a ghost spoke through paper, and an entire monarchy now faces questions it can no longer ignore. Palace and public reaction. News spreads faster than lightning. Within minutes, every major outlet across the globe has picked up the footage. Queen Camilla, in tears, the headlines scream. Ex-lover exposes royal rift. It's not just a trial anymore. It's a worldwide event. Outside the courtroom, royal aides scramble. A car whisks Camilla away behind tinted windows, but the damage is done. Cameras catch a glimpse of her hand against the glass, still shaking. Buckingham Palace issues a short, stiff statement. Her Majesty is resting. We ask for privacy during this difficult time. But privacy is a luxury no royal ever truly owns. Inside the palace walls, panic brews. PR teams rush into emergency meetings. Insiders leak whispers. Plans being rewritten. Statements being drafted. Family members being briefed. Everyone is asking the same question. Can this be contained? On social media, there's no such thing as contained. The public is fully engaged and divided. Hashtags take over the digital stage. Some users call for empathy. She didn't ask for this pain. Others dig their heels in. Diana was right all along. Twitter, TikTok, and news comment sections become battlegrounds of memory and emotion. Royal experts appear across television networks. Some defend Camilla, citing years of quiet service and loyalty. Others aren't as forgiving. We're watching the cost of silence finally paid in full, one commentator says grimly. But one thing unites everyone. This is unprecedented. Not since Diana's Panorama interview has the royal family faced this level of emotional exposure. Only now, the one crying on camera is the Queen herself. Behind closed doors, King Charles is said to be devastated. But outside, he makes a rare move, stepping into the spotlight. The next morning, he's photographed walking with Camilla, his hand gently at her back. No words are spoken, but the message is clear. He's standing by her. And yet, the world watches, not for what's said, but for what happens next. Possible reconciliation. By evening, the public sees something rare. Unity, or at least the image of it. Prince William and Prince Harry, both previously distanced from these moments, release brief statements. They don't speak directly about the trial, but each one acknowledges the emotional toll on all parties. It's a carefully chosen phrase, but it lands with impact. Speculation flares. Have the brothers made peace behind the scenes? Or is this just strategic timing? Either way, the message is unmistakable. The monarchy is trying to present a united front. Later that week, Charles issues a personal message, his voice calm but thick with emotion. My wife has carried her burdens with grace. We cannot change the past. We can only move forward with honesty. It's the closest thing to a confession the monarchy has ever released. Carefully worded, yet deeply human. The public listens, some with tears, some with raised eyebrows. But the tone is different now. Raw, transparent, real. Behind palace gates, reports say Charles has grown more protective. Camilla, once so composed, now leans on him more than ever. Sources close to the family hint at long talks, late nights, and real conversations happening in rooms where silence once ruled. Could this be the start of emotional healing? Could this pain finally bring clarity? Perhaps even forgiveness? Nobody knows for sure. But something has undeniably shifted. The monarchy isn't untouchable anymore. It's human. Cliffhanger. Future fallout. The final day of the trial ends not with a bang, but with silence. The judge adjourns. No verdict, no summary, just the quiet rustle of papers and the deep breath of a courtroom forever changed. Camilla exits the courthouse, surrounded by aides. Her face is puffy, but not hidden. There's strength now in her stride. The crowd parts, not with applause or hatred, but something new. Curiosity. James Hewitt walks out moments later. He doesn't look back. No smirk, no satisfaction. Just a man who said what he had to say and is ready for the storm that follows. Voiceover coverage kicks in immediately. Today, a queen cried. A man spoke, and a family's secrets cracked the walls of a palace. But what comes next? Royal advisors hint that Camilla may step back from public duties for a period of reflection. Whispers suggest Charles is considering a televised interview, an unheard-of step in royal tradition. And what about William and Harry? Will this emotional reckoning bring them together, or finally push them farther apart? Legal experts say there could be consequences if more documents surface. Public opinion polls shift by the hour. Some urge sympathy, others demand transparency. But no one is looking away. As the credits roll on this chapter, one truth hangs in the air. A queen broke, a crown was questioned, and the story isn't over. What happens next may not just shape Camilla's legacy. It could redefine the crown itself. Camilla's tears told a story no crown could silence. Hewitt's words echoed louder than palace walls. As the world reels from the fallout, one thing is clear. The royal family's secrets are no longer safe. This trial didn't just expose the past, it shattered it. And the world is still watching.